world, not used in mainland China. A lot of people think that our main market is mainland China. It is important, yes, of course, but we have to make sure that we are successful globally. And for that, we also invest in terms of our product researches and product development on a global scale. So we have R&D centers around the globe, for example, in Europe, obviously, in the US, in China, in Japan, and also in India, all focusing on different topics, but all working together to make the next thing come true. We also serve the world with our solutions, so we export devices in more than 140 countries in the world. With that, we are serving all of the top 50 mobile operators around the world. So we are well established with our solutions, with our devices, with our whole portfolio of mobile communication tools. Of home solutions, DSL modems, and these things. We see tremendous growth in this area on the set-top box side, and obviously also the handset part is getting more and more important for us, and that's where we actually want to drive our brand with. If you're looking at the handset market as such, you see that at the end of 2010 we still had a situation where we're looking at the global market. We had a very, very substantial feature phone business and a strong business with high-end smartphones. Actually, this is changing at the moment. Feature phones are getting less and less important. If you look at some of the European countries, we are already talking about a new device sales of more than 70% smartphones towards 30% feature phones. That will continue, and one of the reasons why that is that also smartphones actually have to decrease in price, and the price proposition is something which is very, very important. That's why you see a substantial market for mass market and for elite smartphones. If they use a device, it needs to be smooth. Everything needs to not be sticky. It needs to be really, really a slick, smooth operation. And for that matter, we are looking into the best chipsets we can get for the certain price points, and if we can't find it, we develop our own, like the K3 V2. Then we have the topic of autonomy. I guess all of us have been using smartphones in the past where you were trying to look for power plugs half a day through such a fair because you were already down on battery. This is something the end user is not accepting anymore. This is something which we have addressed coming from the Huawei Honor, and we will continue to do that because this autonomy is something which makes a true mobile experience. The third pillar is the audio-visual capabilities. It's very, very important that the displays is very good, but also that the sound quality is very good, and everything combined is very good. So the whole experience around entering and exiting visual content is very, very important. And also here we are taking necessary steps to improve our devices to make them state-of-the-art. And finally, with all these things you have to have on the devices, we all have to remember that a smartphone is still a phone, and you actually use it as a phone. That's especially true for the entry-level area. It's also true for the high-end devices, but to a lesser extent maybe, but it's very, very important that the end user doesn't feel that he's holding an iron in his hand, that he's holding a phone in his hand, and he can use it as a phone.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Dennis. As Lars introduced just now, I'm from the headquarters from Shenzhen. I'm in charge of our UI development for all Huawei devices. Excuse me. So in case I lose some of my audience in the next 10 minutes, which sometimes happens, especially after a big lunch, I want you to take away a key message today, which is Huawei understands the importance of design, and we're investing heavily in that. Not just in industrial design, but also in user interface design and user experience design. So that's the key message. So how do we do that? Let me take half a step back here. When I joined Huawei in almost the same time last year, the chairman gave me an assignment. He wanted me to build a user interface that not only will help us build a consumer brand, but also will add value to our devices. So we did exactly just that. And we started with a philosophy, what we call design with empathy. Now, what that means is that we really put ourselves in our users' shoes. Now, we put people before technology. We put ourselves in the light, and we try to tailor our design to people's emotions. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? I've heard that before. Every manufacturer talks about being close to users and stuff like that. Okay, the big deal here is we've taken that a step further. We actually do what we said. By changing from user-centric design to what we call user-assisted design. The difference is, with user-centered design, what you're doing is you try to understand your users, right? You listen to them, you hear them out. But with user-assisted design, you actually get them involved in the design process. Okay, so that's the big change here. We've done a lot of things to prove that. Once we've, well, actually twice, we've done what we call user experience salon. We invited people to a dedicated place, a very nice coffee shop actually, to spend half a day with these users. Every time there were about 40 to 70 users. And we spent a lot of time going through our UI with them, trying to understand what was working and what was not working. And also, on top of that, every day we track users on the internet. We have forums, we have microblogs, and every day my design team gets a list of all the input from users on a daily basis. Okay, every day around 5 o'clock, I get a list, and then immediately we would go through that list with the software engineers to see if any of those things can be implemented.
Forward into Q4 for the Christmas business, we actually have contenders in the market for all these segments. So we are now arrived at where we started last year. We are a full sortiment of devices for every price point, and we're very proud of that. But let me start with the first new contender in the S&Y series. S&Y series, as I said, for us, it's for the entry level. It's actually not so much dedicated for just being a good value device, but it's really going to take the ideas of the young people, the people who actually are saving their pocket money to buy their first smartphone from their first earned pocket money. And for that, we actually have to understand their needs, and we have to make sure that young generation, my first smartphone, and it ships with ICS, which is a very, very strong message. It's very important to realize that there's a very, very powerful and smooth interaction for the end user. It has an 800 megahertz CPU, which gives you a very, very decent performance on ICS, especially because it also ships with 512 MB of RAM and 4 GB of ROM, which makes it a very, very good and solid experience. From a size point of view, as you can see, it's very, very small, with a 3.5 inch, so you can actually plug it in your back pocket without any problems. It won't harm you at any stage, and it will have the Android experience you actually want to have from such a phone these days. The availability for this device will be in October. For October onwards, we'll ship this device. And the recommended retail price we're aiming for is, now for the German market, it might vary slightly in other markets, but for the German market, it's 129 euros. For the second half, for Q4 business, the first one, which is this baby, is called SNG300. The SNG300 is actually everything you need from an up-to-date smartphone. It obviously also ships with ICS for that matter. It has a very, very powerful gaming experience based on a dual-core processor. It is packed with features so that it's a very, very good out-of-the-box experience. And as you also can see with a 4-inch screen, it's a perfect fit. It's also very, very small and that's good in your hand. You still can operate it with one hand without any problem. This device is also going to be available from end of October. Our recommendation for the retail price is €199. You can see it's slightly bigger than the G330. It features a 4.5-inch QHD resolution display. It has more power. It ships with also a dual-core processor with a higher clocking than the G330. It has very, very good audio performance with DTS included, and a very, very long battery lifetime. So we're taking the Honor story to the next level with this device. It will have a 2000 mAh battery, which will last even a heavy user for 2 days. And this is also the first device which we ship as a basic option with NFC. So you can actually say that besides all the standard features like UMTS and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and so on, it also has NFC included, which makes this also a quite nice offering for the business space, because in business we see more and more uptake on NFC technology. So these three devices for us are already know about this device. Is the SMP1, which we are still very, very proudly selling, promoting, and in some of the European countries it will be available in Q4, and others like Germany is already available. And we have learned quite a lot with this device, and we are very, very happy with the performance we see at the moment. It's a super slim device. It has brilliant looks in terms of the design, but also in terms of the Super AMOLED display with a QHD resolution. It's silky smooth from the touch and feel, but it's also silky smooth in terms of the operation of the device. You have very, very enjoyable entertainment functions in this device, and obviously also super clear sound with Dolby Mobile and noise reduction. Technology lover has been waiting for. We are in October launching this nice baby. Some of you might have seen it before. It's our Ascend V1 Quad in the XL version. It is lightning fast because it ships with our own developed processor, the K3V2, on a 1.4 gigahertz clocking. It has a very, very fast camera with 8 megapixels. It has a stunning display. The resolution of the display is 330 dpi, so it's even better than what Apple calls Retina. It has a very, very good sound performance. Again, we have included a very, very high quality noise reduction software, as well as Dolby Mobile, so that's the entertainment part is not going to disappoint you. And finally, and that's I think the very, very big thing for a powerhouse like this, we actually are launching the device with a 2600 milliamp battery, which will, even for heavy users, last for 3 days. And I think that's a very, very big commitment from our side towards the technology lovers. Besides smartphones, we actually do something else as well. So now going from the smartphone world into our tablet offering. You all know that we have launched this device a year ago. It's on the MediaPad, you're all aware of that. It's the beginning of actually a whole family. So this was the first one. But now going into Q4, we are finally shipping the MediaPad 10 FHD, also with our own chipset, this time with a speed of 1.2 gigahertz. It's flying fast from a performance point of view. It also offers everything you want from an up-to-date tablet. It has obviously a full HD display. It's for the best-in-class multimedia experience. We are supporting nearly all possible codecs to make sure that every content you have, you can actually play back very, very nicely. As you can already see, it's very slim, it's very light. It only has 8.8 millimeters and a weight of roughly 560 grams. So you can use it wherever you want to for every content you want to. Also, this device will be available from end of October onwards, our recommended retail price for the device will be 449 euros. And I think with this device we'll definitely find a lot of new customers who are not just in the mobile world, but also who want to have a portable device, a device which you usually use at home. And this is actually the promise and the answer to that. We developed the MediaPad 7 Lite. The Media 7 Lite comes with a rich app suite, so a lot of additional applications which makes life on a tablet nicer, easier, and in generally better. As well as, again, a huge support for multimedia content in terms of codecs and of playbacks, and also of connectivity, so you can also plug this into your computer, into your television, and it will play back full HD movies if you want to do that like that. But it also gives you the truly mobile experience. Not only ship we the device with an built-in 3G modem, it also has the right form factor so that you actually can easily switch it in your pocket, so that you can carry it around with you everywhere you want to go. And if you want to read something, check something, just plug it out, you type your message, whatever you want, and off it goes again. And nobody actually really realizes that you have such a nice and powerful device in your pocket. So I think with this, I want you to close my part.